Worried about letting someone else pick out the perfect avocado for your perfect impress them on the third date guacamole? Well, good thing Instacart shoppers are as picky as you are. They find ripe avocados like it's their guac on the line. They are milk expiration date detectives. They bag eggs like the 12 precious pieces of cargo they are. So let Instacart shoppers overthink your groceries so that you can overthink what you'll wear on that third date. Download the Instacart app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Drumbeats filled the air. Navels pressed against each other and hips swayed. A dance of celebration was one of the few things the Congolese were able to take into enslavement. The history of the Rumba is a tale of cultural erasure. This is 2 Minute Black History. What you didn't learn in school. The enslaved Congolese in Cuba brought with them the music and dances of their homeland. With its infectious rhythm and vigorous movements, the rumba was diluted, sanitized, and ultimately transformed into the form we know today, sapped of its rich history and origin. The blending of African traditions with Spanish colonialism created a unique Afro-Cuba identity. Despite the significant influence of African culture and heritage on Cuban society, the country has a history of attempting to erase blackness. What happened to the rumba is a prime example. The Cuban government downplayed the contributions of Afro-Cubans, reinforcing anti-black ideology. African practices were banned. In 1925, President Geraldo Machado prohibited public performances of music and dance that had African origins. Rumba changed because of these bans, replacing movements deemed too sexy with San Cubano's influence. The separation of the rumba from its African roots is a clear example of how anti-blackness has permeated cultural expression. The deliberate erasure of the African origins of the rumba not only devalues the contributions and experiences of Black people, but also serves as a stark reminder of how colonialism and oppression continue to shape our world. Regardless of the anti-Blackness that our creations face, we have to keep doing what we do. The authenticity of our creations will always showcase the power of our culture. In order to move towards the future, you've got to look to the past. This has been 2 Minute Black History, a podcast by Push Black. If you enjoyed this episode and want to show your support, please rate and subscribe to our podcast. Together, let's celebrate and honor the legacy of Black history.